So, shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Swapnil Sana. I have completed my graduation in 2019 from Electrical Electronics and Telecommunication branch. After that, I worked for 3 years in a non-technical field, and after that, I have got interest in banking sector. So I prepared for bank exam for 2 years. After completing that, I decided to switch into IT. So I joined this course as AWS plus DevOps in your institute. And my strength is I'm confident guy, and I have problem solving techniques. After my graduation, I also have get hobby of reading novels and books. So I read certain novels also.
Okay, tell me about your favorite novel.
My favorite novel is Mrityunjay, which is written by Shivaji Sawan. And after that, I also read Mahabharata, Mahasweta of Sudha Murthy.
Okay, can you tell me what you learned from these particular novels?
Yes, I learned from Mrityunjay that if you have certain qualities which are uncovered, and we also learn from Mahabharata and Mrityunjay novel the perspective from of looking all the war from Karna's point of view.
Okay.
So there are many characters, but Karna is a character which mostly most people don't know and don't understand his point of view.
Okay, that's great. What motivated you to learn DevOps and AWS?
Actually, ma'am, after getting interest searching about certain fields, I'm basically from I'm non-technical background, so programming is not my part. So I decided to learn it to enter into IT field without programming. So in DevOps and AWS, there is less programming knowledge required as compared to other.
Okay, that's great. Can you tell me about your short-term and long-term goals?
Yes, my short-term goal is basically to enter into IT field, and my long-term goal is to become a cloud architecture engineer and to develop certain sites and certain innovations in AWS field.
Good. Can you tell me why should we consider you or why should we hire you?
As I told you, I am able to solve problems and use my past experience, which uh, I got from my previous company. I will also implement certain tools which I learned in my previous company, and I also use my qualities to implement new technologies in your company.
Okay, so that's it from my end.
So firstly, we will start from the basic questions, then move on the intermediate questions. Okay. So my first question to you: what is an Amazon EC2?
Amazon EC2 is a cloud service provided by Amazon, where you can resizable computer capacity and also launch virtual servers using Amazon EC2.
Okay. So in the EC2, we have different instance types.
Yes.
Do you aware about that?
Yes, I know. There are basically 5 types of EC2 instance. First is general purpose, second is memory optimized, third one is compute optimized, fourth one is accelerated computing, and fifth one is storage optimized.
Okay. So what is the difference between stopping the instances and terminating the instances?
So when we launch the instance state will be turned into running mode. And if we want to stop the instance, we will go to the action and stop the instance. As soon as we click on the stop the instance, the public IP of the instance will be disappear. And if we terminate the instance will be deleted permanently.
Okay. What is security groups in EC2?
Security group is basically a rule that allows you to inbound and outbound the traffic of the instance.
Okay. Do you know the concept of what is inbound and what is outbound?
Yes, inbound is when your load balancer has certain load on it, then the instance will be allow that traffic to your EC2 instance, and in outbound load is generally not available in security group. It is already allowed, so we cannot deny it in security.
Okay. So basically, which port numbers we are assigning the security group for the EC2?
When we launch the instance, then there is a SSH, that port number 22, And we also provide it location anywhere.
Okay.
Discussion.
So how do you connect your Linux EC2 instance in the local?
Using RDP. We
Using RDP, is it correct?
local.
I'll repeat the question again. How do you connect a Linux EC2 instance in the local?
There are two ways to connect the EC2 instance. First is secure shell connection using SSH and Git bash. In Git bash, we will paste that ID provided by Amazon, and after there is second option. We can hit the terminal from Google Chrome. Amazon will provide you a terminal.
Okay. And where we use RDP?
IDP is basically to connect our remote desktop and connect our server to your Windows server inside our machine.
These are used for special Windows
Special
purpose.
Windows.
Okay. So what is an EBS volumes and their types?
EBS volume is basically the permanent storage which is provided by Amazon. So there are three types of basically. One is storage SSD, SDD, and the third one is magnetic. In SSD there are two types: general purpose and provisional IPS. In SDD there are two types: throughput optimized, cold SSD, and in third one is magnetic.
Okay. How can you create a backup of an EC2 instance?
So there are two ways to uh, create a backup of your EC2 instance. The first one is by taking snapshot, and the second one is by creating AMI of your EC2 instance. So if we create a snapshot, then we can take backup, and also we can create it using autoscaling group. If we provide certain values to that, then the autoscaling group will already create two instances of similar type.
Okay. So what is an AMI in the EC2?
AMI is basically a template provided by Amazon, which consists of an image of your EC2 instance, which is used to launch your instance quickly.
Right. Okay. They have contained some OS and softwares also in the AMIs. Okay, you can mention that point in the answer. Okay. So how do you monitor an EC2 instance?
Using CloudWatch service, we can monitor our instance. Also, we can check out the health of the instance, the storage size increase or decrease, and CPU memory is consumed, how much CPU memory is consumed.
Okay. So what is EC2 instance metadata?
EC2 instance metadata basically related to the user data. It also consists of what kind of user you have login, and how much storage, what type of instance you have taken, and all the data related to users and EC2.
Okay, means you have say like in a simple way, metadata contain the basic and important information about the EC2 instances. Okay. So what is the difference between public IP and elastic IP?
Public IP is generally provided by the Amazon when you launch the instance, and if you don't want to change that public IP on stopping and starting the instance, then you can also get facility that elastic IP. So you can uh, take that elastic IP and the public IP won't get changed.
Okay. So in which case we are use elastic IP?
Elastic IP you can use using when you launch load balancing.
Load balancing. Okay. This is a simple practical. If I want a dynamic website or static website, okay, in which website I'm using the elastic IP?
Dynamic way. So
Is it correct? For the dynamic?
dynamic is you can access it from.
Okay. So dynamic means we are rapidly remapping the IPs. Okay. Static means we are providing the static IP. Okay. So how can you resize an EC2 instance?
Uh, First, you can stop the instance. Then you can go to the root volume. You can increase the size of the instance. And second one is using EBS. You can provide EBS to that instance, and you can increase the size and attach it to the root.
Okay. So what are the two types of the statuses? Like how to take an EC2 instances?
So there are two types of instance statistic. So first is system statistic, and second one is instance statistic. So in system statistic, you can check all the environment and related to the Amazon, and in instance statistic, you can check types of operating system, types of volume you are taking, security group which you taken, and all the data related to EC2 instance.
Okay. So next question about the EBS volumes. Like, can we attach an one EBS volume to a multiple EC2 instances?
Yes, we can launch EBS volume to multiple EC2 instances, one EBS volume, using EBS volume multi-attach concept. So there is an option in action section where you can and select the option of EBS volume multi-attach, and by clicking that option you can attach.
Okay. So what is the difference between EBS and instance store?
EBS volume store is a permanent persistent storage, and root volume is a storage provided by when you launch your instance. So it will get deleted when you delete your instance, and EBS volume won't get deleted. It is a permanent storage.
Correct. So do you know the meaning of the persistent storage?
Yes, it is a permanent storage. It won't get deleted.
Okay. And for the backup time, which storage we are using mostly in the real times? EBS or root?
EBS.
EBS volumes. Okay. So what is user data in the EC2?
User data is basically related to users. You can configure that use that user data to create your AMI template using the same instance which you have.
No. Okay. User data in EC2 instances in advanced section we are entering the data. This is the shell scripting part. Okay. So basically we are using that for the automating the inbuilt commands, inbuilt like instructions about the EC2 instances. Like what can they after the launch, which things they need to perform. Okay. So what are the pricing models available in the EC2?
So there are three types of pricing model available in EC2 instance. First one is a reserved instance. Second one is a on-demand instance, and third one is spot instance. So reserved instance is for 1 to 3 years, like long-term commitment. Spot instance is generally used for R&D purpose, and the third one is on-demand instance where you can pay as you use concept.
Okay. So how do you secure an access to an EC2 instances? How do you secure your EC2 instances?
So first we will configure SSH, and use by selecting the key pair, you can securely connect your EC2 instance.
Okay. And any other method apart from the SSH?
You can connect it to using the terminal provided by the EC2 by launching.
Okay. There is one option also in the VPC like firewalls. NACL is there. Okay. We have a subnet associations in there. Okay. We will use also that methods. So what is AWS Autoscaling?
Autoscaling, whenever your load of the EC2, whenever certain load is increased on your system, so autoscaling will provide can increase and decrease the number of instances, and you can also resize your capacity in by using the second option, that is resizable. Horizontal scaling and vertical scaling.
These are the different things. Autoscaling is working on just horizontal scaling, not the vertical scaling. Vertical scaling we need to do manually. Okay. So what is the launch configurations?
Launch configuration, when we launch our instance, then we have to configure certain things. So that related to your types of instance, types of AMI, and storage volume, and just keep your.
Okay. So what is launch template?
Launch template is when you have to create an Amazon machine image. Then there we use that concept like a launch template.
Okay. And how they are different from the AMI? Don't know. Okay. Template is like a predefined configurations. Okay. Whatever we need to use for our EC2 instances. And AMI is like in the AMIs we have OSs, we have other resources also. we can attach AMI with the EC2 instance for the instruction purpose. Okay. So next, what are the components of an auto-scaling group?
We can configure minimum volume, desired volume, and maximum volume. So then we can also give the name to our AMI to that group. We also configure where we have to divert the traffic when the load get increases. We can select different availability zones in that area.
Okay. So next, some extra questions I also have. So what is Route 53? Don't know about that. Route 53 is the DNS management service. Okay. We are able to buy the domains from the Route 53. We can manage the domain name systems from the Route 53. We have certain records and policies also in that. Okay. So please cover that topic also. This is also important topic. Okay. So next, what is RDS?
RDS is also a storage service.
Okay, storage service. Like which storage? What is the full form of RDS?
Remote storage.
Relational database services.
Relational database.
Okay. So database is the important also service. Okay, we need to cover that thing also. Okay, just cover that things also. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.